FHS season tickets.
Welcome back to another episode of FHS Season Tickets. I'm Nick.
And I'm Michael, and today we're going to be talking about the NFL Draft, starting off your Cleveland Browns, the hometown team.
Your Cleveland Browns. Are you not a Cleveland Browns fan?
Well, all of our Cleveland Browns.
Okay,
like my
thank
Cleveland
you.
Browns, your Cleveland Browns.
I don't know with this guy.
Cleveland
You never know
Browns.
with this guy. He kind of like changes, not changes with the weather, but he'll never really vote for a Cavs team until they go far, my opinion. But Mike, go ahead. Can we start off our topic? Hey, when he's a Cavs fan in June, everyone be ready.
I'm not even a Cavs fan in June.
I've seen you at the parade before, June 15th.
Okay, like the whole.
Whoa, I'm not a
state of
Cavs
Ohio
fan
was
in
there.
June.
The whole state of Ohio was there.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Mister, I'm an Indians
When he's a
fan,
Cavs fan in June, huh?
The Cleveland Browns had the number one pick, and they did select Texas A&M defensive end Myles Garrett. Nick, I think you and I would agree.
Oh,
That was a
yeah.
home run pick.
Home run pick, and it's an easily overshadowed pick because all the moves, all the great picks, in my opinion, that the Browns have done, going on from Jabril Peppers at 25 after trading down from 12, which personally I agree with. I think that we need players, and later on we ended up getting our quarterback, but I'll get to that later. Really like Peppers. Everyone says he's positionless, but that is just because he was helping his team win any way possible, and him at linebacker in college and playing all around the field, being a positionless player, was what got that Michigan team to be top 2 at least defense in the country. Yeah, definitely top 2. Alabama was definitely one there, but top 2 defense in the country and in contention for a playoff spot. And then we got David Njoku, who's just an athletic beast. I think these 3 tight ends all are going to pan out in the NFL. I think they're going to put up some huge numbers, which usually you don't see that from first-round tight ends, but I think these guys have what it takes in Evan Ingram, O.J. Howard, and then the guy that we got, David Njoku. And then Deshaun Kaiser thought was a hell of a pick. Definitely the right value there for that pick. Someone we need, I think maybe could be the best quarterback in that draft, which is something you don't say after 4th quarterback is taken right afterwards after the draft. And then we just went defense heavy in the later rounds. Mike, what do you think about the draft?
Yeah, Deshaun Kaiser, I really like that pick. I think Trubisky was probably the best quarterback, but I really don't see any separation from 2 through 4 there. And the second and third quarterbacks taken, Patrick Mahomes, who I do not like at all. 10th overall, I think that's horrible value. Who took him? Was that? Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs took him. That was just bad value that they got. And then also Deshaun Watson, small quarterback, who could have a lot of success in Houston. Like, it's going to be hard for him to fail. Lamar Miller, DeAndre Hopkins, Braxton Miller.
Will Fuller.
A great defense, a decent offensive line, a quarterbacking head coach. Like, it should be hard for Deshaun Watson to fail.
He'll put up numbers. He just wouldn't have put up numbers with the Browns for sure. I don't think he would have put numbers up for the Browns, especially in a first-round pick.
That's why taking Deshaun Kaiser, a bigger guy, especially playing in the AFC North, everybody talks about the weather.
And not as much pressure to start him at all. Like, literally no one has been talking about starting him because it's a second-round pick. It's all about expectations on these young rookies, and we lowered their expectations tremendously, and he has all the potential in the world. So, and one last thing, I don't think I agree with you at all on the Trubisky thing. Like, I'm not going to say Kaiser's on top or all of them, but I don't think you can definitively say that Trubisky is better than any of these guys.
I think Trubisky's better.
I don't know why.
He had a great touchdown to interception ratio. He threw for a lot of yards. He just looked like an NFL quarterback.
So what are the biggest knocks on Kaiser, you would say? We would say
bad decision
making. Decision making. So, but Trubisky led one? What was their record?
I mean, they were like 8-5, 9-4.
Weren't they worse than last year?
No.
I think they were worse. They were worse without. They were just the same when you add in a potential starter in the NFL. That's actually crazy. Compared to Marcus Williams. Compared to Marcus Williams. So you're going to have the same, if not worse record, because I think it's a worse record.
Well, worse record. Went down 6 wins from the year before.
That's why talent level was dropped. but on everyone on the floor. But I'm not even talking about just Kaiser. I'm talking about the other quarterbacks. Like, why is Trubisky getting all this hype? I don't understand it. Plus, you don't know his decision making. I mean, who watched a North Carolina game? Like, Kaiser was under a microscope. I didn't watch it.
I wouldn't say Notre Dame
I couldn't
football
tell
is
you
that much of a microscope compared to what it used to be.
the Notre Dame quarterback. That was under a microscope. Dude, he was under a microscope. Everyone watches them. Everyone watches Notre Dame. It's nationally televised. Could you honestly tell me you watched 2 full games of North Carolina?
Okay, not 2 full games, but bits and pieces of a couple games.
Okay, but so you couldn't really. I don't think you could get a definitive answer on Trubisky at all. But anyways,
Fair.
I don't think that he's gonna be. I don't think you could even say he's the best quarterback in this draft. And it's just crazy that he went number 2 overall, and the King's ransom that was given up, which will segue into our next topic, or not next topic, but can you give me a little ranking of who do you think won the draft and why?
I would say the Browns definitely did really well. They're one of the better teams in the draft. I would also say the San Francisco 49ers, like you mentioned, their trade with the Chicago Bears is really solid. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting O.J. Howard late in the draft, that's going to be a huge
Marlon Humphrey, first
to their
Alabama
team.
player off the board. That's crazy.
Yeah, over Jonathan Allen and
O.J. Howard.
O.J. Howard and Reuben Foster, who fell too. But I'm not really sure who else had a great draft. I thought the Titans had the ability to have a great draft, but they went with Corey Davis over Mike Williams, which you guys know I do not agree with. And they also went with Adoree Jackson, like at 18, which, he's not the cover corner that I think some of the other people are in this draft. So that was kind of interesting to me. He will be probably a really solid kick return and stuff like that.
Was Humphrey there at that time?
No, Humphrey was taken at 16, so right before.
There you go.
Who else would you say was a winner besides those 3 teams I mentioned? Anybody?
I think the Bengals could have the ability to be a winner with maybe the John Ross pick works out. I don't know, because I think that, elite speed's hard to come by, that separating speed. Oh, Giants, I think, for sure. Like,
See,
these guys are middle-tier winners, though.
They need
You hit on the
defense,
best winners. They had one of the best defenses in the NFL last year.
Yeah, but those were all new guys. They, all worked out. I'm not banking on
You're not big on them working out. Well, you can't really rely on not. I think you got to go with what you had last year, and then adding Evan Ingram, someone I see that has, honestly, Odell-like athleticism at that tight end spot, 4 tight ends. I think that he is going to be a game changer. Plus, he was going up against SEC defenses with the worst Ole Miss team we've seen in probably 3-4 years.
Vandy beat that Ole Miss team.
Exactly.
Bad.
They're really bad, and they almost beat Alabama
They weren't even that bad.
in a game that Evan Ingram went off in. So
Their team went off the rails after that Alabama game. They were up on Florida State, huge, looking like a really talented team. Then they play Alabama twice, thinking, okay, those are their 2 losses, but they were two of the best teams in the country. Then just completely fell off the rails. I think they even lost to their in-state rivals, Mississippi State, to end the year, also losing to Vandy the week before that. So it's really bizarre, bad.
In conclusion, none of those things were fault to Evan Ingram,
NFL prospect,
especially a tight end. So I think that the Giants were a mid-tier winner for sure. Bengals have an opportunity to be a mid-tier winner because of just speed kills, and I think John Ross has the most speed that we've ever seen.
Do you see the Tennessee wide receiver? 4.12, man. Watch out.
What? In a pro day?
No, he's an incoming freshman.
4.12. A hand time?
Yeah, hand time.
Here's what they done the hand time. Zoom. Big. Stop. Got it.
That may be true, but now we're going to segue
in high school. And you're telling me in high school you were faster than anyone that's ever come in the NFL before. In high school.
Maybe he is.
Makes no sense. All right, we'll see.
It's Tennessee. They typically lie about stuff, and they don't.
This is Tennessee hand time in the
meet
sky.
Expectations.
It's like a lineman.
They always fail to meet expectations.
Josh
so
Dobbs, Kamara.
Dobbs, he's drafted same pick as
Derek
Dak
Barnett.
Prescott.
Yeah, how did they have all
he's the next Dak Prescott, guys.
They had all these NFL players that people loved, and then in the NFL, and then they
one
underperformed.
first-round pick, and
Oh my
in
gosh.
Barnett. And
Yeah.
then Sutton fell, Reeves Mace. I don't even know where he went, their linebacker. And then that was just a bad year for Tennessee football. When you lose to Vandy, it's automatically a bad year. But let's go into the NBA. The Cleveland Cavaliers look dominating, a word you said earlier today, against the Toronto Raptors. LeBron James with an efficient performance, also just completely dominating the Toronto Raptors. Nick, what were your thoughts about the game?
I mean, it's just like the past couple of games. It looked exactly maybe a little bit better defense, a little bit more energy as a result of that. But it looks basically the same as the Pacers games. And yet again, other people are doubting the Cavs, saying, are they going to get out of the East or not?
Cavs in 7,
How
guys.
much
They're gonna
the
struggle
Warriors
against
over there
Toronto.
are getting all the praise in the world. Pretty much
Utah,
virtual
they have an NBA team?
virtual locks to make the finals. They're literally locks in most people's opinions. But people are still worried about the Cavs,
Utah won't
which I
get
don't
a
really know
game.
why, because I feel like last year we were we're a lot better than we were last year. In my
Would you
opinion,
say that?
yes. We have
think
so
this
many
year's
more
team-
lineups. We have so many more lineups that we can roll out there. Darren Williams is huge for our team, in my opinion.
We didn't lose over 30 regular season games last year, though.
Dude, that's just a result of LeBron going to be in his 7th straight NBA Finals and them not really caring about the regular season. Like, if they actually cared about the regular season, they would probably lost 20, 15 games.
Remember, the Cavs
If they went hard-
swept the first 2 rounds last year, okay? They
Exactly.
only lost 2 games in the Eastern Conference.
Well, what's the record right now, Mike?
5-0, okay?
Okay,
It's on
what's
way
the record
there.
right now, Mike? And guess who they played in the Eastern Conference Finals last year? Toronto. So it's getting a little bit harder of an East. So even
Well,
if they
that's
don't,
because they didn't get
that's
the
like
number
the
one
logic that I
seed.
hear Skip Bayless saying. Oh, if the Cavs don't sweep the first 2 rounds like they did last year, they're not gonna win. No, it's a little bit of harder of a Eastern Conference this year. That's just the nature of the beast.
What?
What?
You'd say the Eastern Conference is getting better?
It's getting better. It's not better than the
Whoa.
West. It's not better than the West. You could book it. It's not better than the West.
He's starting to come around. I gotta say I'm
Not
impressed
coming
by it.
around, dude. I'm just saying it's a little bit harder if you're playing basic math says if you're playing the person that you played in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Eastern semis.
Maybe they got worse. They didn't,
Yeah,
though.
they did not
But-
get worse. Okay.
On paper,
anyways,
they didn't get worse. You never know.
moral of the story is Cavs are fine. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Even if we don't sweep this series.
Oh, well, obviously, I think that maybe the Raptors get 1 game, probably not more than that.
Okay, I think that we have to talk about Chris Paul not making the Hall of Fame. At least not making my Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
you're all.
At least not making my Hall of Fame because, you lost the first round, buddy. Nope, actually it was just a Clippers thing. Clippers never will make a Western Conference final.
Never,
Book
ever.
it. Never.
Not in your life.
I'll do a show when I'm 80. There'll still be in that drought of Western Conference finals.
Since, 1990?
When's the drought?
It's every
started-
team
it
has
started
made
in
since the
the 60s,
Pelicans in,
right?
2002. So, in the
All
Western
right.
Conference.
You got anything to talk about in the NBA?
Who's going to advance, Wizards or Celtics?
I'm thinking Wizards.
I think Wizards
6.
pre-playoffs. But
I think
you know,
Wizards in 6.
after looking at that game 1,
Best player
I'm
in John Wall.
concerned.
Boston came out, gave it everything they got.
Boston did
at
make
home.
it rain.
At home, gave it everything they got at home.
That'll wrap
Still
it up.
Wizards in 6.
I'll wrap it up for this episode of FHS Season Tickets. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more season ticket videos.